the challenges of a franchise, without the investments of a franchise. To buy like a, people pay like to buy a Subway, maybe about $500,000 or so. So here they made it a requirement. There's no startup investment. People should not have to pay anything, and they're very concerned about people spending money in the right way, investing money rather, in terms of their business expenses. So Amway started in '59, but then these approved providers came in 1972, around 1970s. And then the Spartans came as part of the BWW, the bigger organization, and then they have spun off. As you have bigger leaders, and they have their own, a little variation in the thought process, and they teach that. So that from 1970s, we've been following this coaching and mentoring. So you have your product supplier, Amway, then you have your coaching and mentoring from GLT, Global Leadership Team. And that gentleman you saw, Raj Shah, he's my coach. But out for your information, we just missed when you came in. We were talking about Raj Shah, my sponsor, my coach in the business, and he's the one who actually mentored me. He's the one who provided one-on-one coaching. Now, what happens is sometimes people get started in the business, and then they fade out, they lose the motivation, or whatever it is that, they get distracted in life. Something, it happened. And that's what happened with my sponsor. The person who actually got me started was a different person whose coach was Raj Shah. But because we have a commitment in the business that you help somebody who really needs help. So even though my sponsor disappeared, my coach became Raj Shah, and then he mentored me. So it did not matter if what happened, what my sponsor was doing or not doing. I had somebody who I could anchor into, whose knowledge I could tap into, and I could learn and grow. And then I could learn enough so that I could teach other people. And alhamdulillah, that's what I've been doing. And then you saw a lot of couples there. I saw ladies there. And so it's a family-oriented business. They encourage husband and wife to work together so that they have common goals. They work towards a common goal in the business rather than two separate careers outside the business, like normally that people do. If husband and wife are working, they're working in two different directions typically. Here you work in the same direction towards a common goal. And that's one of the ideas, and that's why you see many ladies who are in the business. Many ladies create a lot of volume. They use a lot of products, and they are usually the shoppers in our homes. So it helps to grow your business.
Yeah.
If you have a sister or your mom or somebody who wants to work with you, yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Jazakallah.
Oh yeah, cool. So what other questions? Without anything from your side, any question, any takeaways from what we have?
I do have a question. Like I'm just curious about like how well, or at least when are we gonna get into the practical steps? I know you're still introducing us, but like when are we gonna actually start applying what you're teaching us basically?
Okay. So there are a few steps involved in that. Okay. And like what I wanted to do is make sure I take away some of the common questions that people normally ask. And one of them is like, I want you to prepare for yourself. So I want you to be prepared. I want you to make sure that you have a good foundation, and there'll be a learning curve. Okay. We have what is called a phase A, a phase B, and a phase C in the business in the training. Phase A is the first 30 days where you learn so you're observing a lot of things that your coach or your upline, you'll hear the term upline. Upline is a person who brings you in the business. Okay. And there are, you can have many upline. Now, for example, you saw in the chart that you can be registered under somebody and then somebody else and then somebody else. So this, for example, if you were to get registered, the first step is to get registered, which means you go into Amway.com, get your IBO number, which is kind of your license to start the business. Okay. And again, it's free of charge, so you don't pay anything, but you get your license from that.
Jazakallah.
When you do that, yeah, then the Amway also allows you to make a website for your customers. And I'll show you how to do it. It just takes 3 or 4 minutes. They have their own pre-arranged products, which you can change, and you can decide what products you want to display on your screen, how you want to greet your customers, and so on. So that's your personal website for your customers. And then there is a training, the 30-day training. So, there are a few things you will learn. They have actually a mentorship program through an app called the LLC app, legacyleadershipcollective.com. Now, this app basically, this is where people make investments, to learn. And this is like, going to college. If I went to college, whatever it's $90 per credit hour, I take 3 credits, I pay $270 for that semester, right? So that's to learn. I mean, I'm not making any money when I'm in college, but I'm learning. So similarly, here there's a learning program, but they don't force it on you. And what the program is, there are two subscriptions. One is a standard subscription where you can get a lot of audios. You learn from audios. Like there are people who have built a business. There are accountants. There are software engineers. There are MBAs. People who have PhDs, nutritionists, nurses, doctors, all kinds of people. Obviously, you cannot hear from everybody. You cannot see everybody on the screen, and they cannot talk in that one meeting. So what they do is they make the leaders share their experiences, and assign them certain topics, creating volume, developing a structure, developing international business. So they all speak, and then we can access those CDs. Okay. So when you're driving a car, you're listening to, an audio that's available to you, and so on. Then there are books that are recommended. There are about 15, 20 books that are recommended. For example, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Leadership, The Leader Within You by John Maxwell. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. These are all self-development books, self-growth books. They build your attitude and build your mindset towards entrepreneurship. Okay? So and they have a lot of meetings and conferences. Now, the meeting that you came to is part of that. There are other meetings on every Friday. They have product and system training where they talk about products, where somebody will come and share information about how, let's say, for example, a certain multivitamin, garlic, for example, heart care, helps somebody lower blood pressure without any medications. Okay, or how the laundry detergent works here and it's biodegradable, environmentally safe, how it cleans better than the outside detergent. And sometimes they'll come and do a little price comparison of certain products. So they'll give you knowledge about products. That's usually every Friday in the meeting, 8 to 9:30. And then Tuesdays we have from 9 to 10:30 this meeting. Okay, and then we have what is called business attitude and mindset sessions once every 2, 3 months. This is like a one-day event, not even a one-day event, so a 4 or 5 hour event, typically in the different cities around the country. And people pay about, like, I think $20 per session. I mean per event for that. Again, it's a business expense. You write it off in your taxes as a business expense because you're a business owner.
Yeah.
And then once every quarter, there's a conference. 2 of them are virtual, online on Zoom, and 2 of them are in person. That could be maybe in Orlando, Florida, or in Philadelphia, could be in Ohio, wherever it is. But that's a live event where you attend, where you hear from speakers who have come in from countries like Australia, United Kingdom, Canada, and many other places, who share their personal experiences and also teach you what they did, what mistakes they made, so you don't make those mistakes. Now, all of this basically is under that LLC app, and that is available to every one of us at a price. Now, there is a standard subscription is $140 a month. You can start and cancel it anytime. It's all optional. And the second one is $209 a month, which is called the Elite membership. You have a lot of access to a lot more things. I have that membership of Elite. But here's what Amway did. So they came back and said, we don't want people, especially when they're starting, they may not understand the value of that investment. They may not, and then some of them can be maybe kind of put off and say, well, if I don't make that much money, how can I invest it? So what they did was they put together a program. They said the first year as an entrepreneur, anybody who gets started, they will have to pay nothing. They join this as an apprentice.
Wow.
So, and this is valid for 12 months since they joined from the time of joining. So our Amway year starts in September, finishes in August. So this fiscal year will end August 31st, 2026. So for you guys, which is a great benefit, I think they gave this a great opportunity. You can join the program and not pay for it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, get everything free, and then learn from that, and then at the end of the year, decide how you want to continue with that. So that's why it becomes a totally risk-free investment, risk-free business. The concern generally that comes from customers, there are two kinds of people. One is that somebody heard about this business before or was involved in the business. They heard about Amway and somebody tried it before, it didn't really work out for them. Or the coach or somebody who got them started and never really helped them, he just disappeared. Like my coach disappeared. You saw my mentor Raj, who spoke at the end in that meeting. He's the head of the GLT, but he had registered another business partner who registered me. But that business partner became busy in life and whatever, which is fine. But what happened was because his coach, Raj Shavi, who is now my mentor, he had a responsibility to help me because in this business, when you are coaching somebody, you have a responsibility. Yes, you benefit when they benefit, but you have to first help them benefit. So when you help somebody make about like $3,000 a month, you start generating 1,000, about approximately 1,500 a month, that comes to you as passive income. So all those things are there. And so he took over and he was helping me. So that's how some people get a little like a bad taste in their mouth and say, well, oh, I ran into this angry person, or I was in the business, or I heard somebody did this. Those things happen. And it is true. Unfortunately, it is true. But then when I meet people, I say, do I come across to you that way? Or have anybody in my team done anything like that? They said, no. Okay, then we do things in a different way. We are not here to push you or make you do something you don't want to do. We are here to help you and add value. And that's what it is. So that's what we teach in our business. That's why ethics become very important in our team. And I'm very strong on that. When you're honest and open and transparent, people will build trust. When trust is built, you can build strong networks. So that's one part of it. I'm giving you the concerns right away. So this is what people hear, and you may hear or you may not hear, but sooner or later you may hear if you're building the business on a fast pace. The second part is the products. Products are fantastic. And the products, until you use them, you don't know the value, okay, of this product. Now, I don't know if you two have ever tried or ever had a chance to get any Amway products in your home.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the
Amway
brands
has
that
been, hmm?
the brands that you've told us about, we haven't heard of
Yeah,
before.
yeah. So, and most people, and that's what the direct selling is all about. It's about brands that are available, but they are not advertised. Because Amway says, if you were advertising this in Walmart or in Myers, we would pay them. We would not pay you. So we basically become, in the initial stage that, like a person to person. Uh, I wouldn't say salesperson, I would say, uh, you are an educator. You're educating people about these products. So I end up doing some demos, sometimes do some sampling. We do expos, like you have the ICNA membership, ISNA and ICNA, many, Maya, all these organizations who hold, booth events. You can go and set up a booth there. People are looking for halal certified vitamins. They're looking for, organically grown products. They're looking for energy drinks with that no sugar and no caffeine, things like that. So those are available, and we tell them these are not sold in the stores, but they're available through a certain website, through your customer website. There's a retail to wholesale price difference, which is about 10%. Now, generally, in fact, I've been in this for about 30 years.
Brother Sajid,
Yeah, I'm sorry?
sorry to cut you off, but just a quick question because you mentioned wholesale and retail price. You
Yeah.
said the difference between the two is about 10%?
10%, yeah. So what Amway did, what FTC, actually not Amway, FTC, Federal Trade Commission came down on all the network marketing companies because it's like, a group of companies, right? If one company does something wrong, then they put strict rules for everybody.
Yeah.
And Amway usually, because it has been the number one company in the world for now 62 years, and nobody has ever come close. So they go a step further to make sure that they comply with the rules and regulations, just to make it safe for us, because for us it means that we don't have a business that tomorrow it can be clamped down by FTC or something like that, or it will be declared illegal or unethical. That won't happen because Amway takes extra steps to make sure they are always ahead of the market. Many network marketing companies get clamped down and they do the wrong things, and things like that. So Amway does that. Now, in the process of doing that, Amway makes sure that the quality of the product is never compromised. They make sure the quality is second to none in the market. So you can be assured that the product you're eating, drinking, or using is of the highest quality. If a liquid organic cleaner that Amway makes, if a child in the house follows something, if you buy from the market and have some situation like that, it can be very dangerous, right? It's poison. It could be poisonous. But with Amway, there's no danger, okay? Because it's all organic, right? And they make sure they put all those safeguards in there. So in the process of doing that, they make products which are concentrated, which last longer. So sometimes they will use the product and say, well, I think these are more expensive. Sometimes they are, that's because of the quality, and sometimes they're not because it seems that way because the cost per use comes to be cheaper. So a box of Tide, and actually I did this myself. When I used to use Tide before I got in the business, and then I use SA8, which is the product Amway makes. I used the same size and saw the difference. The box of Tide then was probably like $4 or something, and SA8 was like about, I think, $8 in those days. I said, "Oh, this price is double." But then when my coach told me, Put a marker and do all your laundry, and then note down how many loads you wash with this, how many you wash with that." I finished this box. I finished that box. I found I needed about 2.5 boxes of Tide to be able to finish the laundry that SA8 gave me. And so it actually came out to be a little cheaper than that. But even if it was, let's say, expensive, a little expensive, even if it was same price, our goal is not to save the, you know, 50 cents or $2, or, on $100 shopping, let's say you save $5 or 50 or 10. That's not the whole idea. The idea is to create enough volume and points for yourself and through your network that eventually you start moving from 3% all the way to 25%, where your income grows to about $3,000 a month. I started with my first check was like about $6 and some 29 cents first month. And my one of my friends told me, "Oh, you got a master's degree, you got in the business to make $6." I said, "Well, listen, I just got started. All I did was use my products, and they didn't understand anything. And of course, even I didn't to that extent that I knew later on. And I did that. So, and 6 months later, I was at that 25% level. Okay. I'm sorry, not 6 months, well, probably 8 months later. But that's because I understood the business and I started working hard. I was excited about it and I started working hard. So all those things, that's my personal thing. I'm telling you this because, so that you understand the reality that you're in a business, which is a long-term business. So you don't expect miracles in the first, couple of months. You're learning, you're growing. A convenience store owner or a gas station owner usually takes about 3 to 4 years to break even with the investment they put in. Okay, here you get started, you can actually make money in the first month. You can make $50, $100. Or you can just get started making a few dollars by using your own products. But the goal is to develop customers and eventually build the network so your volume grows. You personally may have 2, 3, 4 customers, your friends, your aunt, your colleague at work. They can buy some things from you, from your website, that is, and that's fine. But eventually, as your network begins to grow and those business partners begin to grow their businesses, your volume will grow.
Okay.
And then you'll be helping and supporting them. And I will be working with you, inshallah, and then doing the same thing. We will all work together. So you're never alone in the business. And that's the one thing I always like, that I'm never alone. Anytime I needed help, I just call my upline, call my coach and say, "Hey, listen, please, I need help here. I'm stuck here." And I don't think I've ever had a situation where he would not help unless he was out of town or something. And to address that out of town issue, and I will shut up after this, is this that I can sponsor you below one couple of people in my team, in one of the team, so that you have a sponsor and then a sponsor and then me. So you have multiple layers of support. That's the advantage. So, for example, if I'm out of town traveling or something, you have somebody else to call. Or if you have, let's say, if your sponsor is somebody who has a team in Chicago or a team in Orlando, then tomorrow you say, "Oh, I have a friend in Orlando who wants to look at his business. How can I get some help?" And he said, "Call your upline in Orlando." Okay, he can meet him personally. He can go and show the plan. So that's the support available, and that's how we can move up. So you say your choice. You can get personally registered by me, and then you two can go obviously one under the other. Whoever wants to be the first, it's up to you.
Yeah. If we do get registered under you, that means the only support that we would be getting is like coaching support would be from you and like anyone above us, right? But if we would,
me and my coach.
yeah,
Two
and right, but if we would be registered under someone else, then our first point of contact would be someone else. Me personally, I would.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Mhm.
Yeah, I was going to say that personally, I would like to be sponsored by you just because we already know you to this point, and we like your etiquette and so on. But in terms of like maximum benefit, I think you are leaning more towards us getting sponsored by someone else.
Yeah, no, I showed you both the options, and for a reason. Now, the first option is even if you did get sponsored under somebody, my relationship with you and my support you will not change. It will be identical. So it's as if those people are not there. I'll be still working directly with you both. Those people are just more like on paper and available as an additional support. They're not going to be the main support. I will be working directly with both of you, guiding you, teaching you. We'll have weekly huddle sessions. Everything we'll be doing together. Those people will be there for in case, or if let's say you have somebody in, another city, or somebody in another country, for example. If say tomorrow you say, oh, I know somebody in Indonesia who talked to me about this and he wants to get started in Indonesia or Malaysia or Germany or United Kingdom or India. So we have additional support available, and that's where you will find the value in having additional support. But my support to you will not change because of that.
Okay.
Because it's still, even though they are there, they will still not interfere with what I do with you. They will still continue, okay? And that's because they have respect for me, and also at the same time, they will want to have undiluted information go to both of you directly, especially in the early stages. And as you grow and when you figure out things, you will begin to see, you'll understand then how you can do certain things yourself, where you don't need your applying all the time, but they're available all the time.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. I wanted to the reason why I asked you earlier about wholesale versus retail, and you mentioned that there would be a 10% difference in price. Are we encouraged to sell to wholesalers? Because at 10%, I don't think it would be easy to sell to a wholesaler because they're trying to put their own profit margins on top of that. And at 10% price, I think that would just be too little. So are we as business owners, are we encouraged to be selling to wholesalers, or are we only really encouraged to sell to retail?
No, both ways is fine. And you have a good question. So because the margin is not that much, we used to have a bigger margin in the previous years, but because of these FTC rules and everything, Amway came down and they said, well, we want to make sure that so the idea behind it was they wanted to lower the price for the customer, but they lowered in doing that, they lowered our profit margin. Okay, so which is fine. All it means is that we do a little bit more volume to create the same profit, but it's good for the customer. So everything is driven for the end customer, like how much they can benefit, how much value we add to them, how much benefit we can give them, how much cheaper they can get. Everything geared towards them, and our bonuses come. And as you build your business, you'll be getting bonuses, but at higher level, as you go build a bigger business and you're putting more time and energy and coaching into the other business networks that you build, there you're going to see big changes in your growth, in your profits. Okay, that's where even people who make six-figure incomes. When I made over what was that? Over 225,000 when I had six businesses that were at that level of 25%. Okay. Now, four of them were in the United States, one was in UK, and another one was in India. But you can do any combination. You can have some business from outside markets, you can have from here, but the biggest benefit comes from right here in North America. Okay, so all six businesses come here. That's the biggest benefit. If you have three strong 25% businesses over here, that's pretty close to $80,000 to $100,000 income. And remember, it's always income on the spare time. This does not interfere with what you do, your personal life, family life. Of course, you'll need to make time to be able to put hours in the business and do the things you need, but it's up to you, And so especially they're very concerned about people violating any, or basically something interfering with their religious commitments. So they always say it's God, family, your job, and then the business. In that order, hierarchy, you build your business. Now somebody chooses, say, listen, I don't have family, I'm a single guy, and this and that. I'm going to put all the time. I want to make, so what somebody makes in 5 years, I want to make it in 2 years. Fine. Yeah, it's your choice. So there is nobody to stop you, and they will give you the plan accordingly. Sometimes people come to me, I want a plan, show me how I can make 2,000 a month in like 6 months' time. Somebody says, no, I want to do it in 5 years because, I'm doing my MBA and I'm taking care of 4 children and, whatever. And those are my commitments. So we respect that and we say, okay, whatever you choose to, that's fine. You can build it at your pace. We'll show you how to do it.
Okay, Brother Sajid, if let's say I find a wholesale customer, and then I sell them at a 10% discount because they are wholesale, are they allowed to sell at the price they like in their brick and mortar stores?
Yeah. So now they don't sell. You don't. Well, you don't sell them in retail stores. That way, you cannot sell this on Amazon. You cannot sell it in the local gas station. Typically, okay, you don't sell it because what happens is this: you're competing with somebody else. So Brother Auf has a customer. Let's say he's selling his energy drinks in gas station, a mobile gas station down in Hamtramck. Okay, now Brother Auf has some customers who buy drinks from him and from his website. Now suddenly the customer walks into the gas station. He says, "Oh, I mean, I can. This is what Brother Auf's website is giving me. Instead of bothering him, I can just buy it right here. I'm here at the gas station. I'm filling up gas. I can buy it right here." So what happened was that Brother Auf lost a customer because I mean, let's say I was the wrong example. Instead of Brother Auf putting the product, let's say you decided to put your products there. So because of that, he lost a customer who was actually buying from his website. So what Amway says is that to protect everybody's business, don't sell it in the retail stores, but what you can do is you can have the retail store like a gas station or a convenience store. So okay, you don't put them along with the main products, the things that they're actually selling. If they're selling Red Bull, they're selling Monster. Don't put them in that. Put them in a separate shelf and say, listen, we also have this other energy drink which is sugar free, which is also it comes with or without caffeine, but the energy does not come as a kick. It comes as a smooth level for 4 hours. You get constant energy and alertness because of the adaptogenic herbs it has, because the Korean, Chinese, and American ginseng in the product. So it has got a lot of natural things that provide you the energy from the amino acids and other ingredients. So you can do it that way. And many people do it that way. Now, I have sold air purifiers in the Rahman funeral home down in Hamtramck. If you're familiar, it's a
I don't think
Muslim,
so.
it's a Muslim one, and they needed an air purifier. I had them buy the air purifier. Okay. I sold, there was down in Windsor, there is a masjid, and they needed air purifiers, especially during Ramadan time, when people, after COVID, people became more concerned about, like people praying in crowded places and all. So one guy is sneezing. I mean, if you're praying and, obviously you like your brother to pray, but then if you're disturbing everybody, then it could be like a safety or health threat to everybody. It's not right. You can pray at home. Allah has given you that opportunity. So they like it, and they bought for about 4 or 5 air purifiers, one for the ladies section and 4 in the main hall. Okay, air purifiers, and I gave them at a very discounted price. I gave them at my price because this was for the masjid, and I said I didn't want to make any profit. All my profit I gave it to the masjid. But guess what? You still get points. So even though you may give all your retail profit to them, okay, the 10%. If you give all of the 10% to them, and the air purifier is an upscale product, it's about $2,700 in Canadian dollars. So if you take 10% of that, that's about $270 if you give it to them. And I gave them even below a little bit extra, some more incentives because it was for the masjid, but you still get the points. Each air purifier may have, like, let's say 600 points, 500 points. So 600 points, you already automatically are at a 9% level, which means 9% of 600 times 4, that is the business volume to point ratio. So 9%, or let's say 10% of 2,400 comes back to you anyway as a profit from your business, even though you gave away all your wholesale and retail profit.
Yeah.
Get me?
Yeah, but okay, I understand this example, but back to the gas station example.
Yeah.
So you said basically we can have the product in retail stores, but only with the exception of keeping them in a shelf that is away from other competitor products.
Yeah, you can have them in the gas station. You can have them, but don't keep them with the main products. They are not to be sold, because the whole idea is you don't advertise along with the other products the way other products are advertised. You keep them in a separate, you keep them in like a cooler or a shelf away from the products, maybe on the side, and you can tell the customer, listen, I also have this product. I also have this protein shake. I also have this energy drink. I also have this chewing gum.
I'm struggling to understand as to like what would be the effect, the difference between keeping it in a shelf that the clerk would have to tell the customer, I also have this other similar
Yeah.
products, but at a different shelf. Like, what's the actual effect? What's the result?
Yeah, the effect is this, that you're not selling the product, you're not violating the rules of direct selling, where you're not advertising the product along with the main line of products that the gas station is selling. You're not
Okay.
doing that. You're keeping it separately somewhere. Some people even keep it inside in a separate room where nobody sees it, and they just keep some flyers on their cashier's desk and say, by the way, we also have this. By the way, we also have this protein bar. By the way, we also have this energy drink.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, so it's about not violating direct selling rules, and those are set by the FTC?
by the FTC, yeah. And normally, even if like, say, I know many people who actually go and do selling also. I may would never have a problem with that, you going and selling whether it's in the retail store or wherever. It's their volume, right? Their volume increases, their business goes. Of course, they pay you higher for the volume, but their business goes. But they want to follow the guidelines of FTC.
Yeah.
And with
So
reputation.
yeah, the reason why I'm asking these questions is because Alf and I may have a potential customer that has a warehouse. So we were thinking that we could supply him with products, and then he can, in his own city, can distribute that product to retail stores. But I did not know about this direct selling rule.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So you can sell it to the warehouse, no problem. And when the warehouse gives it to the retail stores, then the retail store has to be told that, or explained that this is a special product that is sold through, direct selling business, direct selling practices. So keep them separate from your main products.
can these products be labeled a certain label like organic or something like this that would entitle them to have their own shelf? Because it would be very hard to convince a store owner to save space just for these products, just because it's a direct selling product.
Okay, yeah. So for those that are, especially the multivitamins and supplements, they are organically grown. So you'll see an M, a Muslim sign at the back of the product, which is from IFANCA, Islamic Food and Nutritional Council of America. So yeah, you
Okay.
can do it that way. You can label them that way, and these are all halal certified products. Yeah, let's keep it in a separate area. And
Okay,
if
yeah.
you do like Dearborn, that's where you live, right? Dearborn, and then
Yes.
yeah. So pretty much there's no issue there, because this comes up only in a place where there are lots of business owners in that same city. For example, one of my uh, the people I had registered in the business some time back, Egyptian brother, and he knew another Egyptian brother who ran a gas station. So he wanted to sell the excess energy. Yeah, I said, fine, that's fine. You can put it on the side. And he was doing well. Then one day he decided to put the big poster right outside the gas pump. Okay. And so later on, and then people came and went. So I got a call from Amway, because I was the platinum for the group. So they consider platinum, they're the leaders for the group. So we are supposed to explain the rules to our business partner. So he said, that lady said that one of your team partners is selling gas products at this gas station. Then you please let him know that they are not supposed to sell it this way. They need to do it this way, and so on. So I went and talked to the brother, and so he said, well, I paid for it. I'm going to sell it the way I want to sell it. I said, there are certain rules, and maybe your sponsor didn't explain to you that this is network marketing and direct selling. So, but you can sell it this way, no problem. Just don't advertise it out on the main pump there, because people who come there, they may complain. And so that's exactly what happened when somebody who was actually a business partner from some other team saw that. They said, oh, my customers are going to go here and buy the energy drink instead of buying from my website. So they called Amway, and they called the person again and said, okay, sir, please don't do that, because it's part of the rules. We'd like you to follow the rules and do it this way. Anyway, so when he did, then listens 3 times, he didn't follow the rules, so they terminated his IBO number. But that's it. He can always get started again. And I told him, that I had mentioned it to you, that don't do it because it's just against the rules. But you can do it this way, the way I'm telling you. If you do it that way, you will not have any challenge. You'll just keep
Yeah.
it in the corner, keep it separately, and this is what you do. So it's those things we have to play around with a little bit. But you can develop a lot of business with pet stores, with you go to a daycare center, doctor's clinics. Yeah, go and put the disinfectants. You can sell a lot of our disinfectant sprays in those places. Um, and other products that are available. So there are ways to get around this rule, but mostly it is that if you do B2B, then let them be aware that there is a protocol for selling these products. Normally, nothing happens. 95% of the time, you will not have any challenge, even if you sold it directly in that place. I know many people who do that. They sell the energy drink, especially in many other gas stations. Nothing happens. Nobody has any issue. And only if somebody says, "Oh, my customer might go and buy it from here," they may call Amway, and then Amway may call them back. Even Amway, when they call that, they're not going to kick him out or anything. They just give them a warning. Please don't do it this way, and then okay, they can just change everything, and that's it. No problem.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, as we understand more about direct selling, because this was something I absolutely was not aware of. It's almost like strange to me, but I guess it makes sense. I also have a question. So let's say that we do proceed with this customer, with this warehouse customer,
Yeah.
and they, in terms of the 10% margin, right? Let's say they agree to the 10% margin and that they would not increase their prices over what we sell online. But they would require us to, instead of deliver the products to their warehouse, that we would deliver directly to the customers that he wants us to deliver to. For example, let's say he sells to a certain grocery store in Dearborn. So instead of having a truck send the product to his warehouse and then he would have to pay for a truck to take it from his warehouse to the grocery store, the Amway would just send them directly to the grocery store under his name and so on. Also, speaking of which, when a product is sold, who is paying for the shipping and handling?
We do. We pay for the shipping and handling. Now, if the customer order is over $139, they get free shipping. If for all new business owners, they get one shipping free in a month. And for the other ones, it's basically just kind of you roll it into the cost of doing the business because you're not investing in any in a lease, you're not having any trucking service, you're not investing in any registration. So there's no major expense. And the shipping and whatever it is, sometimes you keep some products at home just to have a customer who needs something right away, you can give it to them.
Okay, so you're saying the shipping and handling fees are covered by us, like as in the sellers or
As a,
Amway?
no, as a seller, we buy it.
Oh, okay.
We buy, yeah, we pay for the shipping and handling. And like I said, our first order is free. There is no shipping and handling on the first order. So if you have customers who buy, one customer buys these 3 items, second customer buys those 5 items, and pretty much it's a regular thing. You can order that ahead of time, keep it with you. You don't even have to do it, or just place one order every month with those products, and your shipping is free. Then you can save the customer from paying shipping charges also.
Sorry to cut, brother. Is the shipping and handling expensive? Like, does it come out? Especially for newbies like us.
Yeah. No, it's not that expensive. They've changed some rules recently, but it's like uh, $4 a flat fee plus something, and I think that's what it is. I need to look at that again. But let's say if it did turn out to be expensive, let's say it's $4 on a product that is only $6. Okay, it won't make sense to pay $4 shipping on a $6.
Yeah.
So for that reason, there are certain products which I use all the time. I keep them with me at my home all the time. There's no requirement to have inventory, but I know many of the customers come and say, okay, I want, one toothpaste, a box of 10 toothpaste. Okay, they love the toothpaste because it has a polishing agent, it's a different kind of toothpaste. Some people say, I like the laundry detergent because it lasted me for a whole year. So we buy a few of those and keep them with us. As well, people need them, we give it to them. And vitamins, there are many people who buy very regularly. I have the Imam of my masjid here, he uses double X very regularly, joint health for himself and for his wife, and double X for energy, immunity, many other things. And these things fill the nutrition gap in our diets, right? We eat so much biryani and shawarma and all that we don't really get proper nutrition. So our bodies need that nutrition. You need you need the supplements to fill that gap. We need a lot of fiber. Adults, we need at least 35 grams of fiber every day. And if you look at how much fiber we eat, the average person eats people about 6 to 8 grams of fiber. The sugary drinks, Coke, all these things. But I used to have, I'd stopped drinking Coke for a long time, especially when we found out they were supporting all that, the genocide going on. But besides that, the other products, we don't. So we make sure that we buy healthy, and we have a very good product for digestive health. For people who want to reset their gut health, as we say, even it's in prophetic medicine that that everything starts from the gut. The stomach is the mother of all diseases. So if you fix that, then a lot of diseases go away. So those things are available, and I keep them separate, extra, so we can have the customers have them readily available.
Okay, brother, I know you've said before that this model is like a drop shipping model and that we don't need to store any products.
Yeah.
But with what you just mentioned right now is that some products would not make sense for us to order just, let's say, just one of them because the price versus the shipping cost would just not make sense for us. So I guess there's some storage aspect to this business in only for the cheap products. So we would actually have to store some products if we actually want to sell them and make profit.
But if you don't have to actually, in reality, you don't have to have this is just for having it readily available for some customers. And these are products which are used, which are moving all the time. It's not that you have to stock your garage and fill it with products over there which you won't sell. These are things that we know from experience from past 10, 20 years that what people usually buy. We keep, like I would say, and I'll keep 2 toothpaste. One customer comes and takes 1 toothpaste. In my next order for all my customers, I'll add that 1 toothpaste in that order, so that it gets replenished.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but in my mind right now, this is the only way of actually us being able to sell such a cheap product is only if we store in our own homes or like a storage place. And it's not just about the product being readily available to be delivered to the customer, because let's say we only have one customer for that product and then they buy it and it costs $6. Okay. And then whether we already had it at home or we ship it from Amway, it would cost us $4 of shipping just for that product, right? So it would not make sense for us to actually sell that product unless we actually have a strong demand for it in huge quantities.
Yeah. So normally what we do is for customers who are out of town and out of state, okay, they order directly through the website. And then we tell them, okay, we give them the incentive that if you order, not only that you'll need something to clean your floors, and we have great biodegradable products. You're going to buy your laundry detergent somewhere. You're going to buy your toothpaste. You're going to buy your orange juice or some things like this somewhere, right? So put that order together, order it. If the order is over $139, your shipping is free. So you get free shipping anyway that way. But you order other things, and then sometimes we give them an incentive. Okay, you have this order, we give you one bar soap free or something else.
Okay, I understand now. If it is under that amount of money, 139,
then what happens is the platinums, the people like me, okay, we get the corporation sometimes gives us those incentives that we can store some extra products and then we can give it to our new business partners. So it's available. So you just get it from me now. From Dearborn to here, a 30-minute drive. There's not a big deal. I can drive down, drop it off for you. Okay. So within an hour radius, it's not an issue. And you'll get plenty of customers within your 30-minute radius. So it's not an issue.
Okay, thank you, brother. I wanted to ask, are we required to bear the cost of shipping, or can we on our website just tell the customers, if you order under $139, then you'll bear the shipping cost?
Yeah, they will pay the shipping cost. You don't have to pay for them. Yes, if they're ordering, they pay the shipping cost. For them, how they get away from shipping is to increase their order size to at least $139.
Okay. Oh, I understand now. This makes more sense because I thought that it would be the seller that's bearing the cost. When you said that earlier, you just mean that it would not be Amway. It would either be us as sellers or the customer that's buying.
Yeah, no, I got confused. I was thinking that maybe you're talking about ordering for yourself also.
Oh,
because there are personal orders too, right? You'll be ordering for your home things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Sometimes, yeah.
right, exactly. Sometimes you'll buy for your own, and so that's what we did too. I mean, once I started using these products, I never switched back to the other brand that I was buying from Myers and Kroger's and Walmart. It didn't make any sense because these are superior products. And number two, I build belief in my own products that I can tell my customers about it. That way, I
Right.
don't have to lie. Brother, how is this toothpaste? I've never seen it before. I can say I have used it. Okay, I used to have like sensitive gums sensitivity on this, upper teeth. It's gone now. So I can give them my own testimony. Then it's up to them for them to believe or not to believe. But I don't have to lie. Oh, this is a great product, but I've never used it.
But brother,
Okay, good.
if you don't mind me just asking, is it like most of the products that we buy from Amazon, from Walmart, like almost all of, like can we actually substitute almost every single thing that I ever buy from Walmart? Because those are my biggest purchases, either Walmart, LD, and Amazon. I feel like those are the top three.
That's
Costco.
a good question. No, you cannot substitute every single product,
Uh,
but majority of them, the money, the what should I say, consumables. You
Most okay.
buy them again. So you can walk. I can walk you through the whole. There are about 400 products that Amway itself makes, and many others that are available through the other product lines. So you'll have enough products that you can buy from here. I don't think you'll miss anything which is not available here. There are hardly any products that you'll need to buy from outside. Maybe it could be kids' diapers, probably, but they were available on the site here at one time. But most of them you will not. Most likely
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Thank you, Auf. Brother Sajid, so back to the shipping question that I was asking, if a wholesaler wants to buy and just have Amway directly shipped to the customers instead of to the warehouse. So I guess that could happen because obviously they would be buying in an amounts greater than $139, and then that would be covered by Amway in shipping costs. And so my understanding is that that is a possibility.
Yeah, for Amway to ship it.
But to ship it directly to this wholesaler's customers, like retail stores, if we were to put that in retail stores.
Yeah, for the wholesaler's customer, yeah.
Okay.
Amway can ship it directly.
Yeah.
But that is like their retail store. If I were there, I would, because so I want to so I can build a relationship with that wholesaler, okay, and kind of service them, just serve them a little bit. I would say, listen, just let me know who those retailers are, and I will ship them out from here, and those points will belong to them, to the wholesaler. If he's a businessman, if he's not, it doesn't matter to him, right? He just needs
Yeah.
a product to go somewhere. That's it. So you're not concerned. You just ship it directly from your account to all those 10 wholesalers. I mean 10 retailers. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So right now I'm trying to almost like imagine a business model for us, and
Yeah.
that would be part of it. And I just wanted to make sure that if it works and if it's does not violate any of the rules, because we want to go by the rules all the time.
Although I'm talking a lot about the rules, but it's not really that strict. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just letting you know the worst part. They're more on the extreme end, just so that if you hear something or somebody says something, you are aware of it.
Yeah.
But nothing in this that is so we are not violating. I mean, we're not trying to cheat somebody. We're not trying to lie. We're not going to undercut something. It's not that.
Okay, that's good to know. You also mentioned that we will have our own websites. Are those website costs, maintenance, and so on? Are they like in a network part of Amway's system, or is it just independent websites and that we cover the costs on?
They're actually prepared by Amway for you.
Okay.
And when you get registered, we'll walk you through that, and it'll be like this is your website, this is your own personal business, and then it'll tell you how you can actually you have your customers respond to have the greeting for the customers, how you when they buy, what do you say, okay, thank you for your order, things like that. You will be able to see that, and Amway does that for you.
And hosting costs, is that also covered by Amway?
Which cost?
Hosting costs. So for example, the domain name.
Oh yeah. No, you don't have to worry about all that. It's just a website prepared by Amway. You just give the link to them, and that's it.
Okay, good. So Yeah, so with for the fact that it is prepared by Amway and connected in the Amway system, that means when a customer buys it, will directly the order will go straight to the vendor, and then they'll prepare the shipment, do everything, and I just don't need to do anything as long as I got that customer to go to that website.
Yeah, that's why you go to the website, and you can
Yeah.
what you have to do is register the customer as a client, so that way they are in the system, they are registered. So whenever they order, it's already automatically credited to your account because they are your customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I also wanted to ask if that customer, same customer that was already registered under my account, if they were to order from a different, let's say from Auf's account, okay, if they go to his website,
Yeah. Okay. If
with
the customer knows about his website and he goes to his website, then yeah, then the Auf will get the credit for it.
okay,
Yeah.
so they're able to change.
Right. So that's why if you want to have your customer have a unique process of ordering, and if it's your customer, then you tell your customer to get his or her own ID, own client ID, and that the way they do, they go to the same thing, amway.com. They'll ask them, who is your referring sponsor or business partner? You give your ID, and then it gets linked, and they get an email. They verify that, and their email and their phone number that has to be unique for them, and that's it. So when they order, they put their credit card information and they send the order out, and you
Okay,
get to see the order.
okay, understood. I don't have any more questions right now. You've answered so many. Thank you for clarifying all these points.
Yeah, no, there'll be many questions. I had many questions when I started, so I can relate to that if you have questions, and I encourage people to ask questions because you should never feel shy about that because you want to know. This is a new thing and something to be. The good thing about the one thing good for us as Muslims is that I had this checked over by what's his name, Dr. Main al-Quda. If you know, he's one of the Islamic scholars, very well-known scholars in fiqh. And when he's at the amja.org website, amja.org, American Muslim Jurists of America. And so when I wanted to meet him, and it took me a long time to get hold of him. He's a very, very busy person, travels around the world. But when he was coming to Toledo, Ohio, I said, "So can I meet with you so I can get some time with you?" He said, "I'm coming. One of my students will pick me up from the airport and take me to Masjid at Dick's, and I'm giving a lecture there." And that was in Ramadan. So I said, "Can I pick you up, so I can get some time with you?" He said, "Sorry, my student will be there, but come and see me in the masjid." So finally, I prayed behind him. I went to the masjid, met him at the dinner table, and then he said, "What business did you want to talk about?" I said, "I wanted to ask you, this halal, from an Islamic perspective, from a halal perspective." He says, "Yes, this is a." He asked me, "What company is it?" I said, "Amway." So he said, "Oh, is it about Amway?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, that's what you were trying to ask me all these so many months." I said, "Yes." I couldn't get hold of you, but I wanted to know. He said, "No, Amway is a good business." I was myself doing it. But I got so busy with my lectures, with my Islamic commitments, that I could not keep up with it, but it is a good business. I said, sometimes people have this thing that, oh, well, somebody makes money and, you're making money off of somebody's effort or something. He says, no, no. He said, you plant the seed. When the crop grows, everybody benefits, right? I mean, it's like you teach somebody how to pray. When that person prays, then does Allah reward you? Yeah. So it's those kinds of things. I asked him general questions, and he says, no, it's a good business, halal business, and all the best with that. So that was my personal kind of sort of satisfaction. Because as a Muslim, that's the most important thing for us, right? To make sure what we do is not
Right.
to create a problem in our akhirah.
Jazakallah khair.
وإياكم وإياكم. But it's a conventional business, it's a different business. So sometimes, the beginning you feel a little awkward, what am I doing? You're not opening a shop. People are coming. You're actually going out and reaching out to people. But it's not, you're not trying to beg anybody, you're not trying to twist anybody's arm, you're trying to share. And I'm going to show you what I do, as we go along and talk. I'll give you some tips and tricks, what I use, how we talk to people. I carry a little machine with me called Fit Index Scale, which is nothing but a $45 machine you can buy from Amazon. You step on it, and it gives you readings for your BMI, your body weight, protein content, amount of water you drink, about your health. and it gives a lot of good information that you can point people in the right direction. Because I'm not only working in the business, but I was being associated with the nutritionists for all these years and doctors. So I learned a lot from them, and I have training in nutrition. So I can guide them and say, oh, okay, by the way, so how do you take care of your blood pressure or your arthritis or, your menopause or whatnot. I can talk about those things and recommend things. And when they sign in the machine, it gives a little reading, and I can share that on their phone so they know that the fat content is very high. They need to do something about it quickly because somebody's visceral fat is about 12 or 13. That is a very high number. Okay. So they need to take. So then when you recommend something, it looks real. It looks very believable.
Right.
Yeah. I'll show you what I do. So I will, someday I'll meet and I'll bring the machine and then you can do your own assessment, and then you can get a feel for it, how somebody else would feel when you do it for them.
Right. Yeah.
And then if you know any sisters in your family who use these skincare and makeup products, we have a great line of products from Artistry. And Artistry is one of the top 10 premium skincare brands, which Miss America uses. So somebody like that uses the brand, then it doesn't, even though it's not sold in the stores, we don't have to spend too much time in explaining. You just say, okay, Miss America's face is worth millions of dollars, so she would not use anything. She would not put just anything on her face.
Makes for credible
Credibility.
reason.
Yeah. Same thing with our double X multivitamin. It's one of the best, simply the best multivitamin made out of natural, organically grown materials. And Neutralite is a company. Neutralite is the number one company in the world to do it in their own certified organic farms. And they're doing it for 85 years. Even before Amway came, Neutralite was there. So Amway bought Neutralite because they saw the value in this product. And
So just from your description alone, you got me excited for these products to use for my own personal life. I imagine what my customers will be thinking of.
yeah. I mean, once they use it, believe me, you will see a lot of people get very excited about the products. I can tell you the testimonies from so many people. Many of the imams that I know use these products, and they are on this. Mustafa Al-Turki is from Ayora Masjid, and several actually years ago, I was in his office and I saw some Centrum vitamins on his desk. I said, "You use these regularly?" He said, "Yeah, I do, because when I go for Umrah, I take the groups for Hajj and Umrah, and I come back sick. I come back very tired." So I said, "Yeah, I understand." I said, "Can you try this double X next time?" I gave him that and a couple of other vitamins. He came back and he says, "This is the first time after 12 years I've not fallen sick and I've not fallen tired and not been tired." So he's become a regular customer. And not only that, what happens is when there is a satisfied customer, he then goes and shares with everybody else. He shared with many people in the masjid, with his staff. And so through him, I was able to get many customers, and I give them the discounts, as and when, and they buy those products. One
MashaAllah.
brother, one brother, his wife had high blood pressure. She cured it pretty much, or I would say managed it through garlic supplements.
MashaAllah. Barakallah. Brother, you made me come up with a new question. When it comes to where the product is being sold, so you mentioned earlier North America. You said you have some like India, like you sell in India as well. Does the product's price differ from one region to another to accommodate for the purchasing power of each country?
Yes, yeah. Each country has its own pricing, and they they will go with their pricing, with how that particular product compares in that currency in that country. And so you won't compare something here to over there. The buying power and purchasing power of that. It
That
matches
is
that.
good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know that. And initially when you start, you build your local team, local business first, so that you learn, and then we can move on from here to the next one.
Right.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. Well, what are I know time is
Time for Maghrib. Yeah.
yeah, it's Maghrib time. So let's just end the meeting here, and just with my last question is what are the next steps for us right now? So for our next
Yeah.
meeting.
So our next steps here, let me do a quick sharing of my screen here with you. this one. Okay. Okay. So the first what you do is you register for the Amway IBO distributorship. Okay, log into the Amway website. You go to the business center, just browse, shop, look at all those options, and we'll walk through that. And update the payment preferences through Hyperwallet. It is basically that Amway will send you the checks, the bonuses, and through Hyperwallet, which is like a protected way to get your bonuses, but you can have it electronically deposited in your bank account. And then you download the Amway Creator app, so you can do a lot of things from the app. Then you come down here, and you are. This is the legacy. First comes the product side, second comes the coaching and mentorship. To register on legacyleadershipcollective.com, to register for your subscription and complimentary for the first year, as I mentioned to you. It's a big saving right there. And then download the Leadership Collective app. You log in, follow upline coaches mentorship. Put a calendar together for you. Okay, so you understand what to do next. What are the weekly things? And then there's a coach's responsibility, and there is a 30-day checklist. Even there's a budget session also where I sometimes sit down with the people and say, there are people who are like students and they have very limited budget. They say, okay, how can I allocate money towards or invest money in the business for buying some products for myself, some for the customer? Where should I really invest the money so I can get the best return? So we talk about those things. Yeah. And then we talk about how you can create volume. We set up a goal. Okay. Game planning session. We have what's called hurdles once a week, at least. And for new people, I would recommend at least twice a week, you have a quick hurdle with your coach. It could be just a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute hurdle where, as a coach, if you see in an NBA game, a coach will bring the players together, huddle, they make a strategy and they go out and play. So that's what we do is I say, okay, let's see the guy talk to this customer, but I'm having a hard time building a network here. I don't know what to say here. We do a little huddle. You take those tips, you go out and then go play. And then you do the work and then you come back again and then we do a quick huddle, see what results you got, what needs to be tweaked. And then you tweak it and then go back again and then you try to make changes and then get some more better results. So we do those game planning sessions and the budget checklist. And then you'll see this, these are audios available on the website that you can actually listen to and learn from other people, how they budgeted, how they did the baby steps, how they got started right in the business. Okay, volume checks. So all of these things are there, but what we can do is, if you like to do it now, we can do it now. But what I could do, I could send you a few audios to listen to. I could send you Did you finish reading the book, by the way, The Business of the 21st Century?
I have not finished it, no.
Okay. Did you read the 8 chapters after those 4?
I started on the 8th chapter about multi-level marketing.
Okay.
But so I've started on it, but I haven't went through it yet.
Well, here's what I can recommend. But I would recommend you read those other 8 chapters. They're important. I mean, if you read the full book, the entire book is very, very informative. But the 8 chapters talk about 8 assets you can build, and they're very important because they'll help you with your job. They'll help you with everything in life, day-to-day life. Okay, that's one thing. I can send you another book when you finish that. It's called The Go-Giver. There's a very beautiful story about a business idea and about mentorship. And it's very easy reading. It's like a story, and you'll enjoy. You'll want to not keep the book down. Okay, that's how it is. So that's one thing. I'll send you some articles on products and a couple of short videos. So this will be like a little something for you to do, and then we can meet again tomorrow. Look at everything and get you registered, get you started. So the next step, and then make a plan, make a game plan, put a checklist together, 30-day core run for the next 30 days, what you would do.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
brother, if you can share everything in the group, maybe, or somewhere practical.
Share in the group.
Maybe the list of the books and whatever you need to share. Do you think that would be the best place to share?
I can. Yeah, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with things too. So I'll share with you a few things that you need to know at this stage. And as you go by, I would say like in the next 2 weeks or so, you'll get enough of a feel for what this what it takes to get started right and do the right thing, and then I'll give you all the information you need. Nothing is hidden in this business, and we don't want to hide anything. We want to make sure that we come across, because I want you to duplicate the same thing. Like when you're talking to people, knowledgeable, and anytime you don't know the answer, when you're talking to someone, you can always say, "Listen, I don't know, but I can get back to you.
I
I'll
mean,
check with my."
it makes sense. If we do good, you do good, everybody does good. That's
Yeah,
the
my idea is to tell you the mistakes I have made so you don't go through that. So you can do it much faster than I did and much better. Because I want you to do it much better and have a much bigger business than I had when I started, knowing what I know now. So I want to tell you and teach you those things. And inshallah, like I said, you can get started directly with me. My preference would be somebody in my team, and they're all wonderful, just wonderful people you like. And some of them, are Muslims, some are non-Muslims, but all very humble, very, very, I mean, the atmosphere is a very, very nice atmosphere, very supportive, inclusive. I've never ever had a challenge with any religious thing. In fact, many of them who are non-Muslims in my group are very supportive of what we are doing for Gaza and what's going on in Palestine. So all very open-minded and so on. So from that point of view, you'll see when we have a get together sometime, you'll see the attitude they have. They're enthusiastic about life. They're happy to help people. They have a positive mental attitude, always looking for good in people and and those things are promoted in the system. Like, you succeed when you look for good in people, not for their mistakes. So
I agree.
yeah, inshallah. And then we'll get things moving. And like I said, I mean, do you understand, like, if you got started down in one of the people in my team, there is no loss of information or no loss of connection, no loss of anything between me and you. We'll be working the same way as if they were not existent.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were worried
Sounds good.
about you, Sajid, brother.
No, inshallah. No, I'm not going to. Okay, once we get started, let me do this. I tell people, okay, if you are committed to this, I will not leave you. Okay, you may leave me, but I'm not going to leave you. So, mashallah, you're my brother. So, I have an additional, stronger reason to be able to work with you. But same thing holds good for you both. Yeah, and inshallah, and your family to me, So, yeah, we are good with that aspect. Just that you will have more support.
Brother Sajid, just a
Yes.
quick question. So you mentioned earlier, for me and Auf, we could be registered one under another. Like he's either under me or I'm under him. But let's say that Auf is registered under me. Would he have access to the coach that you will be assigning to me, or will I be Auf's coach?
Yeah, if your office is registered under you, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be the first line of support for him. I'm going to teach you and train you while I'm working with Auf.
Okay. No,
What I'm doing with him, you'll be learning from me.
right. So
Yeah.
I'm saying for the coach that you said you couldn't register me under the other coach that you said, then you'll still be
Yeah.
able to help us as well. But that coach, well, will he also be coaching Auf, or will he only want to coach me because I'm
No.
registered under him?
He'll coach Auf and you both.
Okay.
That's the responsibility is going to be everybody in the team. Yeah, there's no difference. It's like but if Auf is under you, then he's what is called at the deepest point. So when he helps Auf first, let's say, he's going to help you both. But when he helps Auf first, he helps you automatically because Auf is part of your business,
Okay.
right? And then he helps you too, And so there's no like hierarchy there, but I'm giving you like a logical answer about how your business will grow by first helping Auf, and then helping you. So helping Auf means helping you.
Right. Okay. No, I just want to understand the structure, but okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, inshallah. Okay.
Okay,
Very good.
jazakallah khair, brother.
Well, yeah, come on, brother. So tomorrow, what time suits you both?
Um, for me, Saturdays, towards the nighttime, I'd be more available. So after Isha,
Great. That's fine.
like right
So,
after Isha, maybe 7.
yeah. Well, how about you?
Likewise, it's gonna be around the same time.
Same time. Let's do it 7, inshallah, tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Inshallah.
Okay. All right, brother.
All right.
All right,
Nice
take care,
talking
brother.
to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care, son.
Awesome. Wait, shit. When are we hooping tomorrow? What are the times? 6 to 8? Question mark.